Chairman Durbin, Ranking Member Grassley, and members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I come here today as a retired federal appeals court judge with 15 years of experience on the United States Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. I come here as a jurist appointed by Republican President George W. Bush. And I come here as someone who understands that there are few greater responsibilities under the Constitution than serving as a justice on the United States Supreme Court. It takes a jurist of high character, keen intellect, deep legal knowledge, and broad experience to ensure that the judiciary plays its unique role under the Constitution to uphold the rule of law impartially and not to be, in the words of Justice Stephen Breyer, partisans in robes. Today, I have the high honor to introduce Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, a jurist who has all of those qualities. When President Biden introduced her to the nation a little over 3 weeks ago, the American people caught their first glimpse of Judge Jackson's character. You may recall that she began her remarks with an expression of her faith in God and her gratitude for this nation, which she rightly observed is the greatest beacon of hope and democracy the world has ever known. I first met Judge Jackson in 2013 after the Senate had confirmed her nomination to the Federal District Court as a trial judge. 8 years later, she joined the D.C. Circuit as an appellate judge after another Senate confirmation. I've had many opportunities to review her work and observe her work over the years as a judge, and on several occasions, I reviewed her decisions on appeal. Although we did not always agree on the outcome the law required, I respected her diligent and careful approach, her deep understanding, and her collegial manner, indispensable traits for success as a justice on the Supreme Court. About her collegial manner, that important feature of the justice's work is often overlooked. Although appointed by different presidents, the justices have genuine fondness and respect for one another. We saw some of that in their expressions of admiration and love for Justice Breyer when he announced his retirement. The civil manner in which the justices debate the large and vexing issues before them is vital not only to the success of the Supreme Court, but to the success of our nation. The Constitution requires that of all of us. It goes without saying that civility of debate and respect for the differing views of others are sorely lacking from our public life. Judge Jackson's life has modeled these qualities. Perhaps most important, Judge Jackson is an independent jurist who adjudicates based on the facts and the law and not as a partisan. Time and again, she has demonstrated that impartiality on the bench, sometimes ruling in favor of the government, sometimes ruling against the government, sometimes ruling in favor of the individual, sometimes ruling in favor of the corporation. Her rule is simple: follow the law. Now, some think it noteworthy that a former judge appointed by a Republican president would enthusiastically endorse a nomination to the Supreme Court by a Democratic president. That reaction is a measure of the dangerous hyperpartisanship that is seeped into every nook and cranny of our nation's life, and against which the framers of the Constitution warned us. There should be nothing unusual about my support for a highly qualified nominee who has demonstrated through her life's work her commitment to the rule of law and an impartial judiciary. My former colleagues in the federal judiciary, Michael Luttig, Michael Chertoff, David Levy, and Andrew Guilford, each appointed by Republican presidents, and all highly respected judicial conservatives, have also voiced their strong support for Judge Jackson's confirmation. There was a time not so long ago when bipartisan support of the president's nomination of a highly qualified jurist was regular order. Antonin Scalia was confirmed by the Senate 98-0. Ruth Bader Ginsburg by a vote of 96-3. The rule of law is a fragile possibility in the best of times. Today, it is literally under attack in Ukraine and is threatened around the world and in our own country by autocrats and their sympathizers who give lip service to the rule of law, but then work to undermine it at every turn. As Justice Scalia taught us so well for so long, an indispensable feature of the republic the Constitution created is an independent judiciary of judges who have taken an oath not to a president or a party, but to the American people and to God, that they will be impartial. Judge Ketanji Jackson Brown has demonstrated her unwavering commitment to that oath. I applaud this exceptional nomination, which I encourage the Senate to confirm. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.